All right, everyone. Well, welcome back to Hoop to Holler with Dylan Walrus, aka the B-Ball Study Hall. My man with his new pad behind him with the little man. What's going on, man? How you doing?
We've arrived, Wally. We beat the 82 game season of the mosquito infested regular season into a
Yeah.
beautiful playoff run, and now we're at the finals. And you've suffered along with me this long. You've dealt with me this long, Wally, from rap battles to LA hate to then becoming
Pretty amazing.
kind of a Laker fan with you this year, to watching them get out of the first round, to then the inevitable OKC, and then this great 7 game series, and then in the East, the Knickerbockers just kind of cleaning house in Bing Bong land, en route, and here we are. So give me, what does your heart say right now? What are you excited about in this finals run? What are you excited about? What's
I
got the walrus
mean,
flapping?
yeah, there's a lot to be excited about. First off, those Knicks on an all-time roll. I think they're 11 games in a row they've won now. I think it's a plus 235
Those only
point
two losses
differential,
were a point to Atlanta, I think, each. The only two
right?
losses, like 1 point losses. CJ McCollum game. I don't know if you remember that one.
Right.
So,
They're on
yeah,
all-time roll, and 27 years since they've been in the finals. If they pull it off, 53 years since they've won 1973 with,
historical stuff.
Clive Frazier, Earl the Pearl Monroe. And then,
Great
of
game.
course, these Spurs, man,
Your Spurs.
they're 4 games away. They're 4 games away from myself becoming the prophet of the B-ball study hall. And you
I
just
like that
can't
you.
help, at
I
least
like that
from
you fully have taken credit for that now. I mean, I swear I had the
Oh,
Spurs.
it's a purely unique idea. No one else thought
No,
maybe the
and I
Spurs might
also
win.
swear in the NBA Cup that week I told you like the Spurs are like this
You
team is
did.
for real because
You
again
did.
I went in on Thanksgiving to watch Wemby, to watch Castle, both were
Right.
out and they still won. And at that point,
Right.
holy cow, they can beat Joker at home without these dudes. Scary stuff.
Yeah. Oh, no, no, no.
So
You were absolutely.
your Spurs,
Yeah.
you've known this day was coming since you were born, I think, probably. What do you like about them? What made you like turn the page to say, "Hey, this team is my team, and I think they can do it."
I mean, they're not my team. Let's just be clear here. All right. But
Are they
but
your Are
I
they your 1B or your 2A?
no, 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 no. I'm not a Spurs fan at all. Let's be absolutely
You
100%
don't like watching them
unequivocal.
play. You don't like what
I respect them. I respect them. I appreciate them. They were good, honest competition with my
the
purple and gold,
delineation
in the
between
heyday.
fandom and respect, huh?
Well, hey man, this is the B-ball study hall, dude. We're hoop heads over here. So
I'm
I
gonna
love
study it.
basketball.
Yeah,
I respect good basketball, good players. And where it really starts and ends with me is the number one, man,
yeah.
the
You know
big
what?
man, the
If
alien.
if you could take the entire Spurs roster and put them in purple gold, and take the entire Lakers roster and put them in San Antonio, would you make that move?
I mean, is the Earth round? Like, is the sky blue? You
Respect
know,
and fandom. Okay, all
Are you on the capital G Great
right.
Plains? Of
Respect,
course.
respect
Of
and fandom.
course. You kidding
Yeah.
me? And for me, the reason why for weeks now, let's just be clear here. You were talking up the Spurs, but you did not have the Spurs winning
I it
this
would
championship.
it would
Okay.
well, I think I did.
No. No,
No?
we have see this is the beautiful thing about what we do here is
Receipts?
that yes, receipts, evidence, okay?
Did I have
Um
OKC? I had the
you
Nuggets.
had
Oh, I had the
you
Nuggets.
you had the
Maybe I have
Nuggets over the Celtics, but but
maybe I
but
had
then that
everybody.
that changed, I think, to the Thunder, and then you thought maybe that the Celtics might do it. The
Yeah.
Spurs were never a
I did have the
choice.
Knicks in the East from day one.
Did
Like
you know? Yeah, I think I
preseason.
remember. Yeah,
Preseason.
preseason, right?
Yeah.
And you and our
Because
our buddy
because they have the
K9
talent.
were talking that
Yeah,
as
they have
well.
they have the
Yeah,
talent. Yeah. Okay,
and the
you're right.
reason
Keeping me
the
honest.
the
Yeah.
the reason why I have felt for weeks now, for many, many weeks, months at this point, why the Spurs were going to
Maybe
win
some would say
is
years.
is because it depends on the planet you're on, maybe on Mercury,
Yeah.
but it's because of Victor Wembanyama,
Yeah.
man. This guy, he has arrived, and it's far beyond the 7'4" frame, the handles, being able to put it through the legs, pulling up from half court. It's this,
Yeah.
man. It's
Head
that
there. Head
mentality.
heart.
When I saw what that guy was doing last summer, going to China, going to the Shaolin Temple, I talk about this all the time, but I'm
You wanted
sorry,
Luca.
like.
You wanted Luca to be
I,
with him in his pocket.
Please, like really, if I knew Luka Doncic right now, I'd be like, look, man. Well, you know what? Let's push that aside. He's a family man. He's got to
Yeah.
do what's really
Poor guy.
important.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's
But
got
maybe if
different.
not this
There
summer,
is
next
something. There
summer.
is something to maybe Vic being, like, not to get too down this path, but when you're
Yeah.
22 and you don't have significant others and you don't have like I don't know what
Of
his love
course.
interest isn't, or basketball seems to be his love interest, right? And
Yeah.
he's been groom's the wrong word, preparing himself for this
Mm-hmm.
from age
Mm-hmm.
12, learning English, devoting himself to yoga, to being flexible. Yeah, like the commitment and he can singularly focus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're yeah,
These
hit on the
incredible like videos that you see, like him doing this underwater like Navy SEAL training. Have
yeah.
you seen that where he's like doing weights? Like
Yeah.
so like when I saw that guy
You see
was
the
doing
KG
that,
video where
I
KG.
haven't seen the video, but I know he did work out with KG.
Yeah, it's pretty comedy because KG's kind of like it's more of a mental conversation. And he's asking KG the questions of like how do you like balance the emotional and play within
Hmm.
play within that. KG did
Good guy to talk to.
KG did criticize him though. Did you see that? Just yesterday I saw
No.
the thing. He criticized him for being too emotional after winning. They got 4 more games, which coming from KG seems yeah way out of left field. I know. Like the funniest thing about past pros is like some can keep some semblance of balance, but for the most part it's
Well,
outlandish. I mean, that's part of the I guess
yeah.
entertainment of it.
Let's not forget too that he's just, another cog in the hot take machine. We're having our fun here, but I mean, like you're saying,
Yeah,
the guy's a Hall of Famer. That's an interesting take by
like Gus
Mr.
Button back in the
Garnett.
day. Yeah.
Exactly right. But yeah,
So it
I
starts with
saw
Vic. It starts with Vic for you.
it
You
starts
think
with Vic, and then right behind him, Castle. I
okay?
know that's your guy, but
Before we get too far down that, did you think
please,
game one obviously Wemby was like after that game, everybody I think's ready to anoint him as like, all right, he's here now. The
right?
rest of the series, he was fine. Like, I, I don't know if I'd use the word incredible. Like his numbers were fine. Always defensively, he's impacting. So even when he's not, maybe efficiently scoring or, like what did he have the last game? 7 rebounds, 6, 7 rebounds. Like he
Yeah, he
wasn't
didn't go. He
killing the
didn't go to
glass
10. Yeah,
and kind of settling for perimeter stuff a little more. Maybe games 3 through 5, kind of drifting a little. Like it all worked out. Had OKC won that game, I think he would have got some heat,
yep,
but they put it together in game 7 and as a team played a really, really good game 7. Like that was the best the team has looked. And
absolutely.
you're going to get into Castle next. And for sure, all of those dudes can take more risks because they have him anchoring him on defense. Heard a lot of talk leading up to this of like, should he post more? Should he get him in the post more? Should the guys take time to feed him, let him set up? Because sometimes they'll go to establish and they just move it too quick. But also, like part of the Spurs' beauty is like pace and attack and paint touches, and so there's balance there too. But do you think we can see more with him in this finals? And will we?
I think I'm anticipating that we will.
Because he'll
Um,
leave it all out there, right? Like
yeah,
he said so much. He said like I'm finally feeling like I'm reaching levels I didn't even know I'd be challenged to have to get to. So I mean that's pretty good self reflection too.
I just look, Steph Curry changed, basketball, and it's a perimeter game. And, Wemby is he's a legitimate 3-point shooter. I don't think that should be his first option,
Yeah.
but like if you leave, let's just put it this way. Let's see if you agree with me on this.
Okay.
If you leave him open for three each and every time, I think he's going to make them more often than he's going to miss them, especially when he's in rhythm.
He,
Um,
okay. That's a fair point. I think
you
he's
know,
done enough to make himself respectable. And I'd say there's a fine line between when he like relies on it because of fatigue reasons,
sure.
just like anybody, and he's 22. But you're right. Like if he just didn't ever shoot the three, he'd be a lot more one dimensional. So he's pushed back, I think, from an early age when coaches are like, dude, play the post, get out of here. What are you doing? He's
Mm,
said it's always going to be, oh, you want to get your takes off too? He said it's always going to be part of his game. And so I
yeah.
respect that, like he had the foresight to see that. Because yeah, you reflect back to this last 7 game series, the conference finals against Oklahoma City, the three that put it into overtime, and then the step back as well were like two of the biggest
Yep.
plays of the series.
For sure.
Along with the Devin
Yeah,
Vassell
no.
block and the Castle dunk and the Cornette block, game 7, that was huge.
Oh man.
So
Incredible. That's a legendary play in Spurs history. Yeah. So I think, maybe we won't see him in this finals, but yeah, he's a guy that I think inevitably is gonna have to play in the post. It's also, man, do I even want to say this out loud? I'm gonna say it out loud, but I'm
say
gonna
it out
not
loud,
quit at
dude.
the same time. I think about, former guy from my team, Anthony Davis, when you're that big, you put yourself at risk,
Yeah.
if you're going to try to play like a smaller
Yeah.
player,
It's
but I mean,
interesting, AD. AD
yeah,
might be the best comp. Like he will never have his
think about
size.
that, right?
Yeah, like he'll never have his size, but AD at his best was an incredible defender. Like at Kentucky, that's what he was better. I mean, that's why he
Of
won the
course.
The championship
He
was
scored 2 points in that
like, did he have nine
championship game with
blocks or
15 rebounds.
and
I
then like
think 9 blocks is
yeah,
the
like
number.
yeah,
Yeah.
like so and then he developed as a point guard and then grew late, right? Or like a
Yep.
guard.
He
You're
was
like
6'2", and then he
yeah,
grew up to,
yeah.
6'9", I think, in
And
the
for
summer.
sure, we'll both agree that Vic already has the mental edge there and the commitment edge.
Absolutely.
And then you add another 4, 5, 6 inches to it.
Yeah.
And better like moves better even. Like,
Without a doubt.
yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
I
he's way more limber. Yeah.
yeah.
So we'll see. I think, we could start now, like really delving in, what's going to start here tonight.
Who guards
I,
him?
you know,
Who guards him?
I mean, I think it has to be Cat. It has to be. It has to be. And Cat's not like some, like,
That's not a
really,
bad defender. He's a good rebounder too. Consistently a good
yeah.
rebounder. But
I
can he
just,
that'll be an interesting matchup, right? Because Cat on the perimeter can Wemby shake him, and then in the paint, he's got what, I don't know, a foot of reach on him.
oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then when Robinson comes in, it's going to be interesting to see how
I
he's going to play,
I wonder if they
with
put OG on him,
Spinky.
Wally.
Maybe,
Because
maybe.
OG's a little more laterally athletic and he's just as strong. And he probably gives up what, a couple inches to Cat? Like he's a big dude too.
Yeah, OG, I think, is like a solid 6'8", maybe 6'9". Yeah,
Yeah.
Cat's like 6'11". Yeah, the thing about OG, and Cat's not slender. Like he's got some, some weight on him.
And he
I
and he
think
and he also picks up bad fouls. That might be a reason why
that's
you don't
true.
want to put him on Wemby.
That's true. I think the way that you try to defend Wemby is with girth, if you will, with weight.
Tell me about it.
You know what I mean?
Tell me about that girl.
Uh, and that's how I think I could see an
So is that what
OG.
Hartenstein did? What Hartenstein attempted?
Exactly. Also it was very convenient how the refs just allowed that to keep happening.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
my God,
There
man,
was there it was an interesting whistle where when things were going one way, you could definitely see advantage Oklahoma City and things go the other way. And we'll see that in this game. So what do you think? Will Brunson get the whistle? Will Brunson by the end of this get a bunch of he's a flopper nonsense?
yeah.
If he's selling fouls or foul baiting, will Castle guard Brunson and shut him down? What do you think about that? How about Brunson? Let's talk about their stud a little bit. Who's going to guard him?
Sure. So yeah, I mean, he's the tip of the spear when it comes to the New York Knicks, and no, I don't think he did. First off, Brunson doesn't have the reputation of a flopper because I don't really think he is a flopper.
Really?
He's gonna
I
definitely
disagree. I think he
really,
does have that reputation. Yeah, he sells. He sells.
yeah.
He gets in front of you. I think part of the reason he has
But
his
there's a
brain
difference though.
is literally to sell the foul.
Yeah,
Uh,
see, I
well,
think
I would
there's
push back on Bobby. MGB's all over this too. Like
Mhm. Shout out to
Shea,
the great notorious
Shea is a
MGB.
snake. Like he's a slick snake that
Yeah.
slither where he is, and he falls down. Like that, but
Mm.
that's the sell of it. What's the fine line between selling and flopping or embellishment? I did hear some Marty McCutcheon's the
Hmm.
NBA ref thing
Yeah, yeah,
recently.
yeah. Maury McCutcheon. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was just saying how like flopping is the terminology is basically like a secondary thing after the fall to really sell.
Hmm.
Whereas like if
Hmm.
you're just falling, you can fall all you want. That's not a flop.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I
simply
agree with
put,
that.
falling is not flopping. But Brunson, we'll see it in the series, dude. I think you'll see Brunson. He's a strong little bowling ball when he wants to be, and he's a this motion
Yeah.
with his braids
No,
going
he
everywhere
he he definitely sells it for sure. But see, like
as he should, as he
I
should.
think that quote you just had, a paraphrase of Maury McCutcheon, yeah, who is, a
He's the
long
head of
time
the
NBA ref.
yeah,
Is he now?
yeah,
But yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that for me is the
president of
nuance.
the rules committee or something like that. Anyway,
Is that right? Okay, that wouldn't surprise me. He's been around forever. Yeah, that's the nuance for me between selling and flopping. Flopping is that like extra
so straight
that you
up,
put on it.
you think Shea flops,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and you have a problem with it, or it's like whatever.
I used to not necessarily have a problem with it, but it really got to be a bit much
Did
for
he
me
flop in this
in these playoffs.
San Antonio series and get awarded for it?
Not as much as he, I think, was anticipating,
No,
right?
I would agree
That's a,
with that.
see the thing is that I know we're going to get into the weeds here, but that's okay. I enjoy it. Rather this is, at the end of the day, an entertainment
Yeah,
product.
yeah, yeah.
And going back to our guy Bob, like that, and also our guy DJ here, just shouting out, all the fellowship here. Might as well just roll them off here. We got our guy K9, we got our guy Mitch, we got our
VP,
guy Coco, we got our guy
hey,
VP, we got our guy
Coco.
MGB, we got our guy DJ, and then
It is
the
kind
two
of a cool
amigos
crew.
here.
It's a cool daily
It
crew.
is a great crew, man. It is a great crew. At some point, we'll have to get all of them on here for a special Hoop to
Oh,
Holler
that'd be,
episode,
yeah.
right? Just
Maybe
talking
after the
pure
championship.
basketball.
Yeah, maybe after the
We'll have to let
championship.
Mitch, save the USC talk for, fellowship.
Mitch likes giving me the
But
diggers. You notice that Mitch likes giving me the diggers. I kind of like it.
I
He
know, I
always has
know.
something funny for
Yeah,
me.
he's a wily
And
old
you and
man.
your teaching.
But yeah, there you go. But yeah, no, I think, yeah, Shea, and that whole Thunder team, it has gotten to the point with them where it is just a really hard watch. And as well, what compacts it for me is how they don't get called for the obvious fouls that they commit. You know what I mean? So it's like you
I mean
can't have it both
that's the narrative.
ways.
That's the narrative. I would
That
say
is the narrative,
in the
but
Spurs series, I thought the whistle was like pretty. There were moments and maybe game to game, but like in general, I think both teams got some calls and both teams missed some calls, and the calls were pretty good. Like, and it's human error. Like,
sure,
and Shea is also. I think about what he's going up against, dude. He didn't have Dub and he didn't have AJ Mitchell. He didn't have the other two best creators.
sure.
And then where was and then Chet. That's MGB's other favorite hate is Chet.
Man. Have you gotten a milk carton yet with Chet's picture on it?
uh,
You know?
My Gonzaga, Minnesota boy.
Man, man.
Those,
All right, let's go
yeah.
back to let's look at the future
All
here,
right.
which starts tonight.
What?
So this is one thing, and yes, when it comes to the Knicks, because for me, if the Knicks have any real chance at winning this series, it
Okay.
starts tonight. I think it's very similar for me
Oh,
with what
really?
happened with the Spurs. Yeah, what happened
Hmm.
with the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. I think if the Thunder had won game one of the Western Conference Finals, we're probably looking at a Knicks Thunder
Hmm.
finals compared to a Knicks
I mean, I
Spurs
can't
finals.
disagree with
So,
you. I can't disagree on
you
that, but
know,
we'll never know. But yeah, I
it's
just think tonight the interesting thing is the Knicks have been off for a long time, right? Has it been almost 2 weeks or 10 days
I
or
mean, it might
12
as
days?
well be. Yeah, it's been a while.
And the
But that was
Spurs are
true
coming.
also before the Cleveland series. And
Correct.
yes,
Yeah,
they're not playing the
Spurs are coming up.
Cavs.
And the other thing we need to like juxtapose is veteran age and youth, right? So like,
Yes.
and they're gonna have a little more rest between games, which I think Wemby did. He battled through, like credit to him, but he didn't get a lot of
Yeah.
rest between games last time. So yeah, it's always a rust thing, and then you make the excuse if one team wins, what it was or wasn't. Game one, I don't know, man. I don't think the Knicks have to win this. If they get game two and they go back to New York 1-1, I mean,
Sure.
like even if they go back to New York down 0-2, I almost expect that, I guess. I'll be surprised if the
Yeah.
Knicks win tonight. If it comes out tonight and the Knicks kind of imprint and they walk away with this thing, I'll be like, oh, the Spurs are in trouble. Like if the Knicks get
Yeah.
tonight, they probably win the
I
series.
don't think I no. I mean, that's not how I see it. I think
Then
if
they're at least
the
a split going home.
oh for sure no and
You think Wemby might be better at MSG though? Like he might be that guy, right? Who
I
might
think
like
so.
that happens quite often, right? Braun's had some
Yeah.
games there, Jordan had games there, Steph had games, maybe not in the playoffs or the finals, but like,
The
yeah,
Mamba,
yeah, correct. Yeah, your boy.
of course. That's the
Okay.
biggest stage there is.
That's it. I hadn't thought about that. I guess I just think the Spurs are going to win tonight, but I think it'll be a good.
I agree. Yeah, no. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that New York is going to win tonight. I think the Spurs are going to win tonight. I'm saying that if the Knicks have a realistic chance at pulling off the upset,
Mm.
they need to get this game tonight
Do you want to say your
psychologically.
prediction? What is your prediction? Do you want to put
My
that in? Do
prediction is Spurs in six. I think the Spurs are going to win the title at MSG.
you want to march
That's
it
what I
out
think is
then?
going to happen.
So you want to who wins tonight?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. So I think the Spurs win tonight. I actually think the Knicks are getting game two. I
Okay.
think it's going to get split.
Well, I think we can
And
agree there
then,
so far. Okay.
yeah. And then I think going to New
Split at
York.
MSG as well.
Yeah,
2-2.
that's exactly what
Game
I'm
five
thinking. I think
Spurs.
it's yep,
So then
that's what I'm
3-2.
thinking.
3-2.
Precisely.
And then you think they close out back at Madison Square Garden in game six.
Yep. I
That's
think it
why
goes
that's why I went game seven because I was like, I think they'll be home.
oh, of course.
I think Knicks go back and get that
No, I hope it
short
goes
game.
7 games. I think it's definitely going, and I'm in 6-7 land right now.
The
That,
Wild.
that has died
Yeah,
down a little bit. But let
yeah,
me tell you something. In
yeah,
August and
yeah. Oh
September,
yeah, I know.
okay?
Yeah.
Six, oh man. So anyways, no,
Even my kindergartner was saying it. You know, the cool thing is, Wally, I hear picks all across the board. I'm trying to think of a final
Sure.
where I've heard everything from Knicks in 5 to Spurs
Knicks in
sweep.
4. That's our
Yeah,
guy K9.
I mean, yeah,
I
I
think it's
can't think that
mostly
real.
in jest. I think it's
Yeah,
mostly in jest.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Bear down,
Yeah.
Knicks in 4. I think, yeah, that makes it fun, right? I get like there is part of my brain that could see the Knicks veteran leadership, Brunson getting to his spots, Cat playing this hub. And the question I wanted to pose to you was defensively how the Spurs are going to match up. So pin that one for now, because to finish this point, I can see that a little bit scenario giving the Spurs fits, especially if Castle and or Vic get in foul trouble. That really changes their dynamics.
Of
Maybe they
course.
maybe they miss some shots. Maybe Josh Hart hits some shot. Maybe Landry Shamet comes in and hits some shots.
Yeah.
Uh, but that's like, I don't know, 30% of my brain. 70% of my brain says Vic is going to dominate. Castle's going to dominate. The youth is going to overrun him. And Julian, Vassell are going to lace threes, and it's going to be
Hmm.
like 10, 15 points in the third quarter and
Yeah.
cruise control.
Because the thing is, I thought Wemby was going to be that guy in game 7. I thought he was going to go for, honestly, 40, more or
Yeah, I know
less.
his numbers
But
weren't that significant, right? Spread
Like yeah,
seven
he
guys in
was still
double
their
figures.
leader scorer, but yeah,
Yeah,
so like,
yeah,
and that is a better strategy for the
100%.
Spurs and
Yep.
any team,
And
right?
Julian shot well that game. He's and your boy Fox played better, and he's been bad.
He
He's
did.
been
They
game
needed
7.
that.
And
They
that's
needed
one
that.
guy we haven't even talked about. Like, do you think Fox guard checks Brunson a little bit? Like, until this year, those would be the two guys you'd be talking about, right? Like,
Yeah.
those are two solid, great guards with speed, but
No, it has to be Castle. It has to be Castle.
and then Dylan
If
Harper, and then Dylan Harper
if
gets a little shot.
yeah, and man, that guy is having a come out party, right?
Was quiet a
If
couple games, but was big in the wins. He's the
yeah,
bellwether, I think, a little bit. Like when he's
I
going.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, no, I think the Spurs game plan is first and foremost get stop Jalen Brunson.
Hmm. You go
If you
Castle on
contain
that.
him, and you got to go with Stephon
Six.
Castle. Yeah.
And you hope he stays out of foul
Although
trouble.
game 4, of course, game 4, the closeout game against the Cavs, I think if I remember correctly, Brunson he scored in the tens. He ended up having, I think, 14 assists. So,
Wow.
but that's against the Cavs and the so-called
Rod,
fraudulent backcourt, as you've said now a
glad you
number
got
of
on board.
times. But I don't think they can really do that much,
Okay.
that many times. So yeah, I think you got Castle and Brunson.
The nuance
Um,
there, Wally, when Shea
yeah,
attacked Castle and he got by him, then he's kind of fallen like over, like flipping up shots, right? You'll see tonight, Brunson will get in the paint and he'll herky jerk. It's almost a little more Luca-like in a smaller frame where he'll
I
create the
agree.
contact back into you. And that's where I wonder if I'm curious to see Castle on his hip if he
I
picks
agree
up
with that.
fouls there or not. If Brunson wins that battle, if Castle can, and I think Castle will, I just don't see a limit to his
I
ability.
agree.
If Castle can choke out Brunson, they're in trouble, dude.
Right?
I mean, they're then you're asking Cat to be your offensive scorer again, and they've been winning because Cat's been touched. I heard a
Facilitating.
stat today where yeah, exactly, he's touching the ball like twice as much as usual, shooting half as much. So he's getting the ball. He's the hub. He's Joker
Yeah.
light, which is kind of wild.
Yeah.
Uh, so who guards him? Who guards Cat? Does Wemby guard Cat?
Wemby, for sure. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say that Wemby's going to guard Josh Hart, and then the question is,
Oh,
do you
no
put
way.
like Devin Vassell on Cat? Because if Cat's just kind of
No.
facilitating,
Yeah. Right.
you
Oh,
want to
yeah,
see
no,
the
sure.
you
Yeah,
want to see
no,
the
the Spurs need to have Wemby, in
they're a
the
little
paint or
small.
close enough.
When you start to think of
Yeah.
Cat and OG,
Sure.
McKell, and Josh Hart's
Yeah.
he plays bigger than he is. He's crazy
Yep.
good on the offensive glass. And that's how they won the regular season a little bit was offensive rebounding, but the
Yep.
lineups were all kind of funky then. That's the only thing with the Spurs that I'm kind of like, I love their dudes. Like I've heard some people say Harrison Barnes is going to get more minutes. Does Cornette get more minutes? Because like
See?
size will be interesting there, I think. But if
Yeah.
Wemby can play off of Josh Hart, make him a willing three, kind of like Caruso, where Caruso did hit some shots,
Hmm.
then maybe Wemby roams him out.
He hit more than some shots.
Oh, Caruso was excellent.
That
Yeah.
doesn't go to game 7 if Alex Caruso isn't
You
doing what
mean
he's doing
Alex
in that series.
Caruso. Alex
Yeah,
Caruso.
exactly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think, yeah, tonight, because that's what we got coming up here. I think the game plan for New York is you gotta get Wemby out of the paint.
Okay.
So they're gonna need to be
Draw him
hitting
away.
shots, draw him out of the
So
paint.
you do
Yeah.
that with you. That's why I think you put him on Josh Hart because then he doesn't get drawn away.
I'm talking here when the Knicks are on offense, in terms of them
Yeah.
being able to
So how
score
do
the
you draw Wemby
basketball.
away if he's on Josh Hart?
You got to hit shots. You got
Okay.
to hit shots.
Josh Hart
And I think
specifically does.
yeah, and well, Josh Hart, but no, I think Wemby is going to be put onto Cat, and
Yep.
Cat needs to be hitting his three ball. If Cat's in his three ball early, that's going to have to bring, you know, again, if this is assuming I'm correct, that's going to have to bring Wemby out of the paint, and that's going to give Brunson more of an ability to get into that paint and do his little, you know, bowling ball
Yeah.
game like you were
Yep.
mentioning
I
before.
I think you're exactly right. That's what the Knicks want, and that's why the Spurs won't do that. I think that's
We'll
what they're trying
see.
to avoid. They're trying.
Yeah,
I think first. I guess they'd be. I think they'll be happy if Cat has to create more offense because the Knicks have not been winning that way. They've been winning with well, they've
true.
been winning with Cat facilitating, not
They
scoring.
haven't played
Yeah,
Wemby and the Spurs yet, though.
yeah.
So I think if it's not Wemby
And I
on
think they put
Cat,
Wemby on Josh Hart so he doesn't have to come out. That's what I
maybe
think happens.
I could see Vassell being put on Cat. Look at what that guy
Yeah,
just did to Chet Holmgren.
yeah. But he's a lot
Okay,
smaller. He's a lot smaller, and Cat's a lot
he
bigger.
it's exactly yeah.
Yeah.
Cat's not Chet Holmgren. He's got some beef on him. He's got some muscle in him. And then when it comes to the Spurs attacking the Knicks, you know, when they're on offense, being the Spurs on offense. I mean, these Spurs have been relying on perimeter shooting, you know, so that's going to be look, this is a shooter's league. Let's go to the, you know, the cliche, right?
Hit or miss. Yep, hit or
And
miss. Yep.
whichever team, you
But you're
know, is
right.
going to,
The Knicks have good perimeter defenders, right? When you OG and
they
Mikal Bridges,
do.
that's what they're there
Bridges.
to hide Brunson and then that's the other thing, Wally. Maybe you're getting to it is like how do you attack Brunson, right? Castle should own Brunson. Like
Yep.
whoever Brunson's guarding, I would think you would just put him in the blender and get at him. And
Don't
that
bite. Don't take the bait.
who's the
If they can
hole?
keep,
Who's the biggest hole that they can hide Brunson on?
you mean, okay.
You see what I'm saying? The
Gotcha.
crossman. There isn't one.
Yeah. Man.
That's what makes the Spurs beautiful. That's like what's going to be
Yeah.
really cool about it is like I think the Spurs size and then how they do whether it's like you said with the cat matchup Vic stuff, but I don't think it'll go that way. And then counter to that, how do the Knicks hide Brunson is going to be. I don't know. It's like they both have such great talent, and then maybe also a glaring flaw. Uh,
Hmm.
Offensive rebounding for the Spurs, or I'm sorry, defensive rebounding for the Spurs and size,
Yeah.
and then Brunson. I get who's the worst offensive player? Julian Champagnie if
Well,
he's not making shots. I
I
guess.
mean, right. You know what I mean?
But
Yeah, Vassell, Champagne, Fox, sometimes Castle, you know.
oh,
To go back
I'd
to
love if they put Brunson on Castle. He'll eat him up, dude.
oh, of course. No, I think any of these guys, but I really think, you know, you mentioned earlier right now is the bellwether. I think the guy who's going to be the difference beyond the obvious with Wemby for the Spurs
Yep.
is going to be Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper at 20 years old, rookie
He's like,
season, is already one of the best finishers in the NBA. It is incredible what that guy can do when he
please do
when he
that.
gets to yes, when he gets to, you know,
Yeah,
2 feet,
his
as they were
strength.
saying,
Well,
in the paint.
think of who he's bullied ball this run. Who did he put Dort in his own torture chamber,
Yep.
like game 1 or 2, and then did he go at who was it with Minnesota? Was it Julius Rand? Who was it that he's like bullying? Where I was like, oh my god, it's Randall, and then
Can't
also
recall.
oh, who's their wing that you like that Chris Bird did not that you trade for AR?
Yeah, McDaniels.
Yeah,
Dave
yeah,
McDaniels. Yeah.
he's going yeah. So
Yeah.
like yeah,
I think we're
see
going to see a good amount of Dylan Harper in
okay.
this series. De'Aaron Fox came back in a big way in Game 7. He's definitely going to be getting, you know, plenty of minutes. He's their best ball handler. Castle, as great as he is, he needs to tighten up that handle this summer because, you know, if he
I
wasn't
love it.
getting
I
picked
don't
off
care.
as much as he was, well, you would care if he was his teammate, okay?
I say
You know,
play downhill, play with force, dude.
yeah. So
But
I
yeah, I
think
mean
we're going to
nine
see a good
turnovers for
amount of
sure.
Harper.
I mean there that is the narrative. You're pushing a. I mean that's the message out there is like having a Fox handle the ball takes pressure off Castle and he doesn't turn it all over as much. I just think like when he has the ball in his hands, something happens,
Oh, I
and
agree.
75% of the time it's something pretty awesome.
Yeah,
And
for sure,
25%
for
is
sure.
bad turnovers.
And the Knicks are not the Thunder. The Knicks are not, you know, going to this cliche of right, the sharks in the war with the blood. That the Knicks aren't that kind
They're
of
gonna play.
team.
Do you
They're
think they'll play a
not.
little more like cognizant pace style, or like what do you?
Yes,
How do you see them playing? Who wants to slow it down? Who wants to speed it up? Spurs want to speed it up. Knicks want to slow it down.
Spurs want to speed it up. Spurs
Okay.
want to speed it up. Knicks want to play at pace. They want
Yeah.
to get Brunson his touches, get him to the line, get their shooters open on the perimeter. Um,
Yeah, and can Bridges
it's
hit
it's
shots?
it's
Bridges has
it's
been
it's
good. Bridges has been hitting shots.
tonight's going to be a very interesting game because it's going to be a game where both teams are feeling each other out, seeing what their approaches are. And I think it's going to be a good game. I think the Spurs pull it out. But if those Knicks do pull off the win tonight, it could be a very interesting series.